Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, it's your guy ogbEp back again with another installment of Old Grey Beer Presents Gen X Reviews. Today we will be reviewing one of my favorite metal bands, Metallica. Yes, the Mighty Met is on board today. Specifically, the Rise and Fall and the Rise Again of Metallica. I'm not going to go into like a heavy history lesson. This is going to be just that, my opinion of what was good, bad, and ugly with Metallica. What made them great, who had a hand in souring the Metallica pot. This is my opinion. There's going to be a lot of people that disagree with me, and I can completely understand that, and that's perfectly fine. This is coming from an old school Metallica fan. Even the people that don't really listen to this genre of music could probably understand and relate to the passion I have being such a fan of these guys. Always have been. Even when I didn't like what they were doing, I was still a fan, if that makes any sense. Because I knew in my heart that they would eventually come back to their roots. So, as that goes, like, subscribe, leave your comments. So far the comments have been great. You guys have been super supportive. I love it. Keep them coming. I'll keep slamming out material as fast as I can, much as I can. Suggestions on things you want me to talk about. So, let's get together and talk some Mighty Met. We'll start with the first album, Kill 'Em All. Their first full production album was absolutely amazing. It was fast, it was hard, it was in your face, and it put them on the map. I mean, they were already on the map with the cassette trading circle back in the day. Yeah, back in the day it was, you recorded yourself and your band on cassettes, got a couple of songs or full cassette out there, a couple of songs on compilation cassettes, and it just went nuts. Metallica went crazy. Everybody wanted to hear Metallica. One of the biggest things with Metallica was the production. The producers had a huge hand in their sound and where they went. And Paul Curcio was the producer for this album. All I can say is the album was amazing. All amazing. I mean, you had what was to be the all-star lineup: James, Lars, Kirk, and Cliff Burton. And Lars just killed the drums. James had that iconic voice. Kirk was just shredding on the guitar, and you had Cliff Burton, who was like a god on the bass. I mean, bass pedal, or bass guitar, wah-wah pedals. Come on, you can't have you can't get better. So after Kill 'Em All came another epic album, Ride the Lightning. Ride the Lightning. Yes, Ride the Lightning was a very, very deep album. Very fast. Could almost say it had their first possible ballad, you could call it, with Fade to Black. Fade to Black being deeply rooted in suicide. It's a sad subject, but makes for some amazing damn music. Enter Flemming Rasmussen as the producer. This guy was a production god. I gotta say it. Flemming knew what sounded good. He knew it sounded good whether it was what everybody wanted to hear or not. And that's what made Metallica Metallica. I mean, before the advent of internet or the fact that it came mainstream, you had to go out and actually buy the albums or the cassettes or whatever it was. And a lot of the, shall I say, advertising or word spreading was just that word of mouth. Like, you gotta hear these guys, Metallica, these guys are amazing. And that's, excuse me, that's how I got my first taste. And it was it was actually the Kill 'Em All album. Was the first one I ever heard. First track I ever heard was Hit the Lights. And I just went, what the hell is this? Then I had to have everything else. When I got my hands on it, cassettes just got worn right out. Again, Fleming, he was the backbone behind the guys. After that one, we had one of my favorites, Master of Puppets. Master of Puppets was predominantly or loosely, I don't know how we want to put it, I'd say predominantly based on drug use and drug abuse. I mean, it was a big topic in rock music back then. It was an iconic album. There's no other way of putting it. It was iconic. And sadly, the album being iconic was not just for its music, but regretfully, in Sweden when they were touring for this album, there was an accident with the tour bus. Cliff had gotten thrown from the bus, and sadly he died in the accident. Cliff Burton died in that accident, yes. Any Metallica fan knows this. This is not news, but that was the end of that era, the Burton era. After Cliff's passing, the band put out the Garage Days Revisited, I believe, which was just a compilation of a bunch of covers that they wanted to do by different punk and metal bands. A little big there. But after that, it was time for a new bass player and a new album. This one was my absolute favorite album of Metallica. This was an epic opus album. It was long, it was heavy, and new bassist Jason Newsted from Flotsam and Jetsam, he came in. Boy, did that guy take a lot of heat. Oh my goodness. The shoes that he had to try and fill, Cliff's shoes, those shoes are unfillable. So Jason gave it his own twist. He took a lot of heat. Again, this album was produced by, I believe, Fleming. It was Fleming, James, and Lars all did the production. And I do know that there was issues post-production with bass levels. The original cut of this album was to have heavier bass lines, and in the end, Lars did not like the seriously heavy bass lines, so it was changed. And down many years later, he come to realize that he was wrong. It should have been heavier bass lines, and there's been re-releases, fan re-releases, remixes, however you want to call it, of this album called "And Jason for All," to highlight what it would have sounded, or how it would have sounded. But this was an epic album, and their first official ballad was 1. But even then, I wouldn't necessarily call it a full-on ballad. Yes, it starts slow, but then it just kicks back into the mean, heavy, in-your-face Met. And after years of touring with that one, enter Sandman. Yes, the Black Album. Never officially called the Black Album. It was just a self-titled album, Metallica. But somehow it just... Everybody just kept calling it the Black Album, myself included, and called it the Black Album. Enter Sandman. But, now here's the big but. Enter Sandman. Enter Bob Rock. Bob Rock, formerly of the band Rock and Hide. Yes, he's had his hand in a lot of different bands, album production, but in my opinion, this was the beginning of the end for Metallica as we knew them. Yes, this album was amazing. It was great. But Bob Rock having his hand in here led them down the wrong path. Led them down a path of commercial. Focusing more on what everybody wanted to hear. Where previous albums in Metallica, they didn't care. They wanted to produce an album that they liked, that they wanted, because they knew the fans would like it. Bob, on the other hand, yes, I'm bashing Bob Rock for this. I'm sorry. I gotta do it. This is my opinion. Bob Rock, if you're hearing this, the guys in Metallica, if you're hearing this, I'm sorry. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. But, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's my opinion. I mean, I can have my opinion. I'm entitled to it. And I think everything after this album was absolute... That's all I got to say. The Unforgiven, Enter Sandman, Wherever I May Roam. It's just... The whole album is beginning to end beautiful. But after that, that's when it just went like... This is when the proverbial plane got shot and it just down. Load. Blah. Bob Rock has a hand in that. That was garbage. It was absolute crap. Reload. Come on. Give me a break. Saint Anger. One good song. Come on. One good song. And I believe Saint Anger is when they, when Jason left and they brought in Robert Trujillo during their stint. Well, James was in and out of rehab. I mean, awesome that he got the help that he needed. Yes. Saint Anger was Enter Robert Trujillo. And when he auditioned, the guys in the band were like, huh? Haven't seen that since Cliff. And I believe it was Kirk that actually made the mention of like, did you see this? Like, it's you don't play like that. I mean, Robert, props to you, man. Props to you. You are a phenomenal bass player. But too bad you couldn't have come in earlier in the life of Metallica. I mean, you brought new. Should I say you brought new life into them? Yeah, like I'm gonna say it. You brought new life into them. So, what else do I have to say? Saint Anger, Death Magnetic? No. But the Death Magnetic, They got rid of Bob Rock, brought in Rick Rubin, but they were still in that lane, like, gotta do commercial success, gotta make sure everybody likes it, gotta please everybody. But thank God when you guys came back with Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Holy shit. I heard that and I went, oh my God, the Mighty Met's back. Like, you guys came back with a vengeance. The title track, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, blew my mind. Like, literally. When I heard that, I had to stop and give my head a shake and went, wow, they're back. You guys had some other stuff that I'm not even gonna touch on. The Lou Reed stuff, the S&M. Nah. I want to go back to Hardwired. Hardwired to Self-Destruct, the whole album. You went back to your roots. Went back to your roots. I mean, it's too bad you couldn't have brought Fleming back in. But, oh, it is what it is. You guys finally saw the light. You got a shock from your own energy. But that is my opinion on the rise and fall and the rise again of the mighty Metallica. Phenomenal band. Like I said, even when I wasn't liking what they're putting out, I was still a huge fan. So, that's my opinion on them, on what happened, and if you don't like it, that's fine. If you like it, drop a comment down below. I will see it. So, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Gen Xers, stay cool, be kind to everyone, love one another. Later.